Welcome back to another episode of Action Movies for Dummies. And today is a special day in the AMFD studios because today we're going over Under Siege 1992. I am your host, MJ, and man on the mic too, Shakes.
Hey everybody, we're doing a Steven Seagal movie. Woohoo!
Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, how is everybody today? Glad you could make it back. We love you guys. I just want to throw out that we are on Facebook. If you have any questions, concerns, or you just want to send us some links, go to our Facebook page. Action Movies for Dummies. Every Wednesday, we will also be throwing on a little question for you, and the answers that we like we'll end up reading on air.
Hell yeah.
So we sent one out for the first time last week, and the question was, what song would you play in a car chase? And we got some responses.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
They were funny. We got Yakety Yak. Don't talk back. Which I think would be hilarious in a car chase.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I Can't Drive 55, which is a pretty good song for a car chase. We've got Breaking the Law, Breaking the Law. That's another good hard metal song. Yeah, that's a good one. Somebody wrote in the Roadrunner theme song. And I was like, did the Roadrunner have a theme song? And I looked it up and sure as shit. Yeah, Roadrunner had a theme song. Roadrunner, if the coyote catches you. Roadrunner, if he catches you, you're through.
I love it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
And you know what? I came around. I came around. And then I had one person put in a song called Deja Vu, which I think was supposed to be Deja Vu with a V, not a B. But I actually did find a song called Deja Vu. It's not in English, but it hits. It hits pretty good, man. Yeah, it would make my car go faster. But my favorite one of all was the Benny Hill theme song. And that would be pretty epic.
That is really good. Benny Hill goes good with anything.
Yeah, I was a huge fan of that. And that was by one of our fans that goes by the moniker Redneck Joe.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Thank you, Redneck Joe.
Thank you, Redneck Joe.
We appreciate you, my friend.
We
You
really
are
do.
the dummy of the week. Let's go. All right. Did you think of a song that you would play?
I was thinking it would probably be "Hey Man, Nice Shot" by Filter. It was used in, I think it was from Tales of the Dark Side.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I've seen that in a car chase, so I think it's just ingrained in my memory as
Very
one of the
nice.
coolest car chases I've ever seen.
Yeah. The song I thought of immediately when I seen the question was the song from Baby Driver. I think it was.
Oh, the first song, the beginning, the bank job?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, during the bank robbery. It is an awesome, yeah.
That is a good one. He's
Yeah.
lip syncing the whole time.
Yes, it's fantastic.
Yes,
That's an awesome chase scene.
Good.
But, yeah,
Good
absolutely.
choice.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. All right. So, Under Siege 1992. Shakes, Info Man, tell me what I need to hear, brother.
Phew, okay, so came out in 92. Steven Seagal.
Yeah, brother.
Who off and on throughout the rest of this episode I will be referring to as Seagull because he flies in, makes a movie, shits all over it, and it flies away again. If you haven't noticed, I am not his biggest fan. I believe I even brought it up in episode 1 of ours for no reason at all. He wasn't even in the movie. I felt like I had to bring it up. on on top of Seagull being in this movie, we have Gary Busey, we have Tommy Lee Jones,
Yeah.
we have a Raymond Crew who has been in so many movies, but he was like a nobody when this came out. I mean, he's been in Breaking Bad. I think he's
Right.
been in like every crime show there is for at least one season. Um, Heck of a talent.
Right.
Then we have the hot lady of I guess, of the whole thing, Erica Eleniak,
Yes.
um, who is not just a pretty face. She went on to do writing and producing, and she makes independent films. But back in the day, she was on Baywatch for the first 2 seasons, and she didn't like the direction they were going, so she walked away.
What direction was that?
I don't
It's
know.
Baywatch.
Were they gonna be running were they gonna be running faster down the beach?
Are they going to be running the other way now?
I don't know.
What
I
direction upset her so much that she had to leave
I
a show that lasted what, 10 years? 15
I
years?
I honestly can tell you this, I have never seen a single episode.
Me neither.
So, but in this movie, she plays a Playboy playmate.
Right.
Fun fact, she was Miss July 1989 on Playboy.
Like, for real.
For real.
Holy shit. They use that in the movie constantly.
Right. But
Wow.
they call her Playmate 1991, which
Mm.
screwed me over hardcore with my research in this movie. Because I thought the movie then took place in 91, because that's what they told me, but it didn't. It happened in 92.
I don't know what the hell that is.
Yeah, that's on me. Sorry. No, you know what? It's on Steven Seagal. I blame him. So I made a list for you all that in 1992, better things you could have been watching than Under Siege. And I'm including the movie Free Jack with Mick Jagger.
Oh,
Mick Jagger
Jesus.
trying to act far more superior than this movie. The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Juice came out this year. Final Analysis with Richard Gere. Great movie. The Great Mouse Detective. If you're into Disney. Wayne's World. Come on, y'all.
Wow.
Radio Flyer. Great movie. Stop or My Mom Will Shoot You. Another fantastic movie. That's an action movie too, by the way. Basic Instinct, White Men Can't Jump, Lethal Weapon 3, Alien 3, My Cousin Vinny.
Oh, wow.
And the one that takes them all, Shakes the Clown. Came out in 1992, y'all.
And think, Under Siege rose above all of that. That's
No,
amazing.
It really
That's
didn't.
amazing. Steven Seagal does an amazing job in this movie.
Oh, you know what's funny?
Hmm.
When I looked up movies that came out in 92, this one didn't make the list. It's
That's a
not
shame.
on the list.
Yeah, because it's in a list of its own.
Oh, yeah, it is.
All right, we've talked it up, brother. You ready to dive in?
Yeah, oh God, no, but let's do it.
All right. Movie opens up to a battleship cutting through water. Cuts to the inside of this battleship where we see men working, and a crewmate is greeting a Casey Ryback, Steven Seagal, and he's not in his uniform. And he's asking, he said, "Hey man, you gotta put your uniform on. We got a big ceremony." Casey says, "No, I'm not gonna wear it today." He's being a badass already, I gotta admit.
First line. First line.
Being pretty fucking cool already. I love it.
No, he's not cool. No, he's being a smarmy, slimy little
Somebody
shit.
mute this man's mic. Scene jumps to Captain Adams, Patrick O'Neill, talking on a phone. While he's on the phone, Commander Krill, Gary Busey, notices and comes over and sits down. As he hangs up the phone, Casey then enters the room. Captain Adams tells him to put on his uniform so he can meet the president. Casey doesn't really want to do that. Commander Krill thinks it's a bad idea anyway. The captain tells him to stay hidden until the ceremony is over, and Casey Cool walks away. Oh yeah, I named him Casey Cool. Krill asked,
You know what?
And Casey goes on with his day. Krill asked, why does he put up with Casey? But the captain says to leave him be and kind of hints that Casey Cool is some kind of badass hero.
Okay, Gary Busey at one point called him a sorry-looking soldier, and I was behind him on that. But then he called him a clown, and that's just offensive. I know a lot of really good clowns.
Scene jumps to Casey Cool working in the kitchen, watching the TV, and it's the history of the battleship that he's on. President Bush is now on the ship for his ceremony, as Casey is telling jokes to the men, keeping their spirits up. I mean, of course, he's a cool guy. It's Casey.
Yeah, the everybody in charge hates him on the boat.
Yes.
Like all the people not in charge think he's such a cool guy. He's funny.
Because
and
he is. He's awesome.
He goes against authority, but why are we all on this boat? To respect authority. Just saying.
Scene jumps to the ceremony over and the ship back in open water. John Duke Davis. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie The Program. It's an old college football movie, but he plays Mac, the middle linebacker, in that. But him and another crew member talk about how they need a chopper to come in with a delivery for the captain's surprise birthday party. It's a Playboy model that's going inside of a cake for him. Scene cuts to Commander Krill and another member, and they are talking about the security of nuclear weapons. Krill wants to move along, and the crew member says it's unsafe, but he's going to obey under protest. And Krill says that's fine and walks away. Scene cuts to Casey Cool in the kitchen.
Oh my God.
And Cue Ball walks in.
Oh, Cue Ball.
And Casey Cool makes Cue Ball dance for everybody to get the spirits going,
Okay, so this guy Cue Ball, his nickname is Cue Ball, and he's a black man, and his head isn't bald.
No, it's
so
not.
I, for the life of me, cannot figure out how he got his nickname. But he's not in the movie long enough for you to really question it that much.
As everyone's having a good time, Taylor, played by Glenn Morshower, kills the vibe. He starts having a dick-throwing contest with Casey Cool, and Casey Cool is definitely winning this dick-throwing contest. He's definitely winning it. 100%.
I wrote down biggest dick-throwing contest yet.
Taylor tries to tell Casey that dinner will be flown in, but Casey says he's the only one that cooks for this captain, and if you got a problem with that, then you got a problem with that. His crew tries to warn him that Krill will give him shit, but Casey Cool plays it off. He's cool as shit. He doesn't take orders from nobody. Scene jumps to Krill going to see the captain, and the captain wants answers on this secret landing of a chopper. Krill tries to tell him that Admiral Bates is flying in for his birthday, so the captain gives the okay, and Krill leaves. Scene jumps to this chopper full of people for the party. Scene jumps back to Krill giving Casey shit, and he orders the men to leave, but for Casey Cool to stay. He says that...
You gotta keep referring to him as Casey Cool. You're gonna do this the whole damn time, aren't you?
He says that he's put up with Casey only because of the captain, but soon he won't have to, and then spits in his suit like a shithead. Casey Cool then Casey Cool
spits in his bouillon.
Casey Cool then walks up and shoves Krill, and they try to say he struck an officer, and Casey Cool says that's not striking an officer, so he punches the shit out of Krill and knocks him over the table, and I cheered like a man never cheered before. Let's go.
And then, of course, he says that's hitting an officer. At this point, I'm getting the feeling Gary Busey doesn't like Seagull very much.
Men then try to grab Casey Cool, but he starts to kick their ass and gives up before he hurts too many of them because he beats the shit out of like 3 of them. And he's like, all right, everybody relax. And everybody's like, okay, cool. He didn't want to hurt too many of them. And Krill then orders them to put him in the meat locker.
Yeah!
Damn it. Krill then locks it and picks a new crew member and tells him that Casey Cool hates everything, including America, which isn't true. I can't believe he said that. He said that he hates everything, including America. Are you fucking kidding me? And that he doesn't want him to ruin the captain's birthday. So if he tries to escape, to shoot him in the head. Are you insane? The crew member agrees.
But the guy that they have keeping him in this so-called meat locker, this like it's got to be like day 1 of being in the Navy. Like, this kid is so green. I don't even think he started shaving yet.
Krill and his men leave, and then Casey Cool says the cool-ass line, "Another cold day in hell."
And he's in this meat locker, and at no point does it look cold in there at all.
It was freezing. You seen
No,
that?
it wasn't.
Yes,
No,
it was.
You can't see his breath. He doesn't shiver once.
It's because he's controlling his body
Yeah,
temperature.
bullshit.
That's what awesome people do.
He's sitting in a fucking closet. I swear to God, that's all it was.
It's fine. You don't understand this kind of stuff. It's cool. We get it. We get it. We get it. All right. Scene jumps to William Stranix, played by Tommy Lee Jones, in a chopper, and he's talking directly into the ear of this Playboy model, Jordan Tate, played by Erica Elenick.
I believe that's close as I can get.
And he is annoying the shit out of her. Scene jumps to them landing and men cheering as Jordan gets off the chopper, and she's met by Commander Krill. William and the other men follow. So there's a bunch of men, there's a bunch of catering and band members that come off the chopper with him. Scene jumps to Casey trying to talk to his crew member, but he's not having it. Scene then jumps back to Krill walking Jordan through the ship, and the crew members are slowly circling her, but she gets seasick and Commander Krill takes her to the room. Scene jumps to William fooling around until Krill asks him if the band is set up. He says yes. Krill says, "Well, get your ass to playing," and gets Jordan ready to pop out of this cake. Scene cuts to Casey still trying to talk his way out of this meat locker because this little shithead of a new guy won't let him out. And He tells him to go get his pies.
Because they're going to burn.
Scene cuts to Jordan getting ready for this cake reveal, and she takes motion sickness pills they were given to her by Commander Krill. Scene cuts to William and the band, and they are getting the crew going. I will say, that house was rocking.
Yeah.
Scene...
Tommy Lee Jones was the front man of the band.
He
never sings.
No, he doesn't.
At one point, he fakes that he can play the harmonica because it covers his mouth.
Scene cuts to Casey still talking to this crew member and slipping the cuffs in front of him. Scene cuts back to the band and the crew is having a good time. Scene jumps to the crew working underneath the boat, and the waiting staff is bringing them appetizers, which I thought was odd as shit because it's all these men. I mean, they're sweaty, they're covered in oil, they're keeping the ship going, and there's these men in catering uniforms, gloves and shit, serving them like tartar. And I'm like, what the hell are they doing down there? Scene cuts back to William keeping the party going as Krill is dressed as a woman dancing for the crowd.
Bro.
It is Gary Busey dressed hackily as a woman dancing around.
And at this point, it became a horror movie. Gary Busey in drag is something no one should ever have to see.
It's like William Dafoe in drag.
Oh, God, yes.
As he dances for the crowd, William goes over to Mike and sends him to go get the captain. A crew member asks about Casey Cool and goes to check on him.
It's 40 degrees in there. You can't just leave him in there.
Scene jumps to the crew member, and the room is filling up with smoke because he didn't listen and get the pies, like Casey Cool said. Scene jumps back to the band, and the party is still going. Scene jumps to Krill, getting the captain for the party. And the captain is a little freaked out because it's Gary Busey in drag.
Yeah.
Scene jumps back to the band, still rocking the house. And William then says, "Who's the highest ranking officer? Stand up, stand up." And he stands up and he puts a spotlight on him, and then he pulls out a gun and shoots him square in the fucking head.
Oh, yeah, just big bang dead.
When he does this, all the men dressed as catering and the band then start pulling out guns. William and the men take control of the room. The captain hears the gunshot, but Krill pulls out a gun that he was hiding in the wig he was carrying and shoots him in the chest. The guard that stands outside the captain's door hears this and tries to enter the room, but a man dressed as catering shoots him in the back of the head.
So how does this handful of so-called caterers and everything take over an entire battleship
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
soldiers? How I blame Seagal.
I can't keep blaming that man.
Oh, I sure can. Oh, watch me.
Scene jumps to William and his men still taking control of the room. Scene jumps to the staff under the ship now taking control, and they even shoot a man in the leg to show everybody that they're not fucking around.
Yeah.
Scene jumps back to Casey and he hears the gunfire. Scene jumps back to the fake catering guy and Krill. Now, the fake catering guy shoots the captain in the head, and the men start to radio each other of the control they have over the areas. Scene cuts to the new crew member, and he's getting nervous because he hears the gunfire. Casey Cool tries to tell him to call upstairs and see what the hell's going on, but the guy's not listening. Scene cuts back to the henchmen moving the crew into rooms and welding doors shut so they can't escape. As the crew is moving, one of them tries to attack a henchman, but he fights him off, and while he's on the ground, he shoots him dead. Then William shoots the crewman right next to him and says, "If you try to resist us, we will kill you and the man next to you." I thought that was fucking insane. That's control.
That's a pretty good line.
Scene jumps to the outer part of the ship, and the henchmen are killing the crew members and taking control of the deck. Scene jumps to Krill, and he's opening and grabbing something out of the safe and going over some paperwork in the captain's room. William comes in, and Krill throws him what was in the safe. Krill then finds paperwork that says that the captain was worried about his mental state, and he he gets pissed off, starts having this little temper tantrum, and then he looks at William and says, "Does it look like I need a psych eval?" And William looks him dead in the eyes and goes, "Not at all."
While he's asking this question, he is still dressed in
Still
drag.
in drag, yes.
But he is taking his wig off, so he has a panty on his head.
So then goes to change. He and William take control of the bridge, and they change course of the ship. As they clear the area of the crew, a man with a briefcase comes in and starts setting up. William then gives him the disc for safety and tells him to guard it with his life.
Right.
He then brings up the layout of the ship, and they say they have control of the ship minus a few stragglers. William then tells the man to activate the weapons. William then tells Krill that he is commander of the ship, and Krill is thrilled. Scene jumps to the crew member checking on Casey. And he tells the crew member to call upstairs and check to see what's going on. This time he agrees. Scene cuts to a henchman telling William and Krill that the crewman is checking in. Krill forgot about Casey. Krill tells him to keep Casey in the meat locker, and William says that they will send somebody to relieve him. The crew member asked if that was gunfire, but Krill, of course, lies and says it was party poppers. Tells him to wait until he's relieved and hangs up. Krill goes to kill Casey, but William stops him and sends some of his own men. He says he can take 20 soldiers and 50 cooks. Scene jumps to the crew member, and he's telling Casey that he's wrong and that it wasn't gunfire and that it was just party poppers. And Casey Cools tells him that he has shit for brains, and I fucking agree with him. And he tells him to let him out so that he can handle it. Because I mean, it's Casey Cool; he's going to handle anything. And this part I thought worked against him, which is the only negative thing I have to say is. He tells the man that he's gonna kill him as soon as he gets out, and I'm like, that's not gonna make him open the door.
No,
That's
generally,
not gonna make him
generally, if you need a favor from someone, you try to be nice to them.
The crew member then hears a noise, but two henchmen creep up behind him and get him to turn around. He puts his hands on his head and gets on his knees. After he tells him where Casey Cool is, both of these men then kill him. The henchmen swing the door open and open up fire. But Casey Cool, of course, is hiding. As they enter the freezer, a hatch swings open from the ceiling, knocking one of the henchmen back. Casey Cool then swings down and swing drop kicks the other man and then runs outside the door and locks him in. And I thought to myself, I've never seen a hatch in a freezer.
No, it's like we've gone over this before. Ceiling hatches, like elevators. Never seen a hatch in an elevator in real life, but they're always there in the movies.
Hatches in floors, ceilings, walls. We've never seen them anywhere in real life, but they're all in these movies.
Oh yeah.
Casey then begins to look for the keys on this dead crewman. The henchmen then begin firing at the freezer door to get themselves free. So Casey Badass then, oh yeah, I changed his name to Casey Badass. So Casey Badass takes off to another room. The henchmen have freed themselves and now are searching for Casey Badass.
Oh my God. You know, I don't like you sometimes.
He then gets the cuffs off and takes his chef jacket off because it's badass time. It's not cooking time. It's badass time now. He sees a henchman coming up. He grabs his knife off of a bullseye dartboard that he threw earlier. Casey Badass then throws the knife directly into the man's neck, killing him. The other henchman then comes looking for his partner when Casey Badass jumps out of cover, grabs him by the gun before he can aim, disarms him, tosses him over the table. The henchman then pulls out his sidearm and lets off a couple shots, but of course misses Casey Badass. Casey Badass grabs his arm with the gun, disarms him, and then they begin to struggle. The henchman then pulls a knife, but Casey Badass is in charge of the situation. He pins his arm with the knife down and then kills the man by choking him out with his forearm and his knee. Now, I would love to describe to you how this necessarily works, but I don't think this works in real life.
No.
Casey Badass then takes the man's radio and mixes something up and puts it in the microwave. Scene cuts to Casey entering a room with his gun raised. He finds the captain dead and he covers him with his captain's jacket. Scene then cuts to the jet sweeping over top of the ship as William, Krill, and his henchmen watch. The henchman then activates the miniguns and shoots the jet straight out of the sky. Krill and William celebrate. Scene jumps to an elevator opening to a bunch of men working. and a Mr. Breaker and a woman step off, and they're talking about how William used to work for them. So he used to be military. And Breaker says that is not good. He's led to a table with a bunch of guys sitting in suits and pins, and he sits down. One of the men say that they need answers now and connect William's calls. Breaker and William begin to talk. William says that he has nukes and there's nothing they can do about it. Breaker says he doesn't have the codes to launch them, but William's henchman pulls them up on the screen and he proves him wrong as William reads them right back to him.
He reads them right to him, and they're like, oh, shit.
Another man asks, why is he doing this? William then explains that 6 months ago, Breaker canceled the mission. Then 2 months later, 2 men tried to come and cancel him. Breaker tried to talk William down, but William goes on this wild rant about chaos and revolution. Breaker wants to know what he has planned, but William says, you tried to kill me, you son of a bitch. So welcome to the revolution. There's more to follow, and then cuts the call. Breaker says he's flipped. The men then begin to try to get inventory of the weapons that are on that ship. That scene, Tommy Lee Jones fucking kills it. He kills that spot.
He tries to act insane.
Yeah, he fucking kills
nothing
it.
what he's saying is really what's going on. He just wants them to think he's out of his fucking mind.
Scene jumps to William and his men having a laugh. One of the henchmen then fires a missile, and the missile hits a satellite relay in an attempt to blind what he's doing at headquarters. The man at the table then says to wake the president. I said, who the hell does he think he is? Jack Burton? Get the fuck out of here.
Right. If I'm not back in 10 minutes, call the president.
Scene jumps to henchmen welding a bunch of pieces of metal as William and Krill pass through. Scene jumps to Casey making his way through this ship, and he finds himself underneath William and Krill, and he starts to hear some of their plans. William and Krill begin to walk and talk, and William hears this banging noise, and Krill says it's the crew. And it cuts to the crew. It's like everybody from the crew is in this little small room, and they found this large piece of metal with like 15 people need to pick up, and they're doing Morse code against the side. Doom, doom.
Right.
Doom, 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 doom. Like they're like trying to send out a message.
There's this whole construction going on throughout the ship. But they can hear the tapping of the Morse code.
Scene jumps to Casey, and he's entering the room where the party was being held. And he sees his dead crew members. As he's clearing the room, he kicks this cake, and music and lights start up on the cake, and Jordan pops out of the cake, eyes closed, ass cheeks and boobies out, and she's ready to put on a show. She's slowly dancing, she's winding and grinding, and she flashes her boobs to the camera. And Casey cool, Casey badass, of course, keeps his composure. He doesn't look down, he keeps his eyes eye level, and he says, hey, come with me, grabs her and takes her into the back and starts questioning her. Jordan says that she was hired to pop out of the cake, but she took these pills and must have fallen asleep. Casey asks how many people was on the chopper. Jordan says she doesn't know, but it was full. She asks if he was special forces, but Casey says no, he's just a cook, a lonely, lonely cook.
And then she says, oh my God, we're gonna die. Okay, so she's been hiding in this cake for God knows how long while people have just been getting murdered.
Massacred.
Throughout the ship. Gunshots going off everywhere. And she's just been sitting in this cake, just about butt naked. And Seagal kicks the cake with his foot, so she thinks she's been rolled all the way into another room. When in reality, he just kicked her about 3 feet. She doesn't realize that there's no crowd there waiting for her.
Oh shit.
There are so many holes in that. And
So many.
and if you're gonna kick a cake with a human being in it, I'm pretty sure you're gonna notice it's a little heavier than it should be.
Scene jumps back to Breaker and the bigwigs at the table, and they're going over all the weapons on this ship, and that some of the missiles have nuclear tips. Breaker explains that the mission he sent William on, he lost positive control, and then per order, he tried to have him killed, but missed. He says he is positive that William sunk this submarine on this mission he sent him on. Scene then cuts to this submarine underwater being ran by William's henchmen. A henchman then tells William that 2 men are missing, and Krill says, see, we should have sent more men. Scene jumps to Casey putting Jordan in a locker for safety, but she bangs on the locker until he lets her out. Scene jumps back to William and Krill and the henchmen, and they're starting to search this freezer for Casey. Scene cuts to Jordan and Casey's giving her a shirt and explaining to her that if she's coming with him, she needs to be invisible. And it gives her a gun and explains how semi-automatic works. Now, I have never I never fully understood what mansplaining was until I seen this.
Well, if you ever wanna learn how to be an awful human being, study Siegel. He will show you all the ways. Yeah, yeah. And he wasn't acting. That's the
No,
whole
that's
thing.
really him.
No,
Yeah,
that's
no.
and then all the people on the boat that hate him, they didn't have to act either. They just showed up.
Scene cuts to William and his men, and they're looking for Casey Badass. William finds his men dead and sees that Casey Badass is more than a cook. As Krill keeps saying, oh, he's just a cook, he's just a cook. The microwave then goes off, and William and Krill take cover as the mix that Casey put into the bowl earlier blows up in the microwave. William then gives his men orders and tells Krill he wants a file on Casey Badass now. Scene jumps to the table of men, and they're going over the plan to try to take back the ship from William. And if the mission goes wrong, that they have no other option but to sink the ship. Scene jumps to William and henchmen going over plans when Krill walks in and says that Casey Badass's file wasn't in the file cabinet with everybody else. It was actually hidden, and Casey Badass is an ex-SEAL. Experts in just about everything, but his clearance got revoked, so he had to take the title of cook. A henchman then comes in and tells William that 2 more men are dead. William then begins chewing Krill out for not knowing that Casey was such a badass. William then gives orders to keep Casey below deck, and the men move. Scene cuts to Casey and Jordan, and Casey Badass has this earpiece, and he hears Williams giving the order to keep control of the ship, but from where they are, to not move around as much because Casey's roaming around. Jordan then says that she has 2 rules: to not date musicians and don't kill people. But Casey doesn't care. He makes her climb a ladder and then tells her to hold up while he goes ahead.
Yeah.
Scene jumps to Casey getting to deck, and he sees a henchman, so he stays low. As the henchman gets close, he grabs him and chops him right in the neck and kills him.
He does a karate chop like a 3-year-old believes that they know karate.
We then get a wide shot of the ship, and you see all these different parts getting welded because you see sparks flying off all over the place. Casey Badass, using cover, moves along the deck, and then he gets to this case. He opens the case and he pulls something out, all while not being spotted by this big spotlight because he's awesome. It's some type of satellite that he has to set up.
Oh, please. He is running around the ship trying to dodge these multiple spotlights, and he's just not doing it. He's in the spotlights more than he's not.
Bullshit.
Oh, whatever. Watch it again. I'm not going to.
I'm not watching this shit again. I'm not watching this shit again.
And the truth comes out.
But he pulls out this satellite phone with this big ass dish. He then makes a call in code and hangs up. Scene jumps to Casey with Jordan, and he's explaining this high-tech gadget to her because she wouldn't understand because she's a woman. He then pulls out this earpiece, puts it in his ear, and begins talking to the men at the table. One of the men tried vouching for Casey, but the man tells him to not tell Casey the plan to retake the ship. The man tells Casey to just feed them intel, but Casey then informs them that the ship is being modded to offload the nukes and that Krill is all a part of it. Bates then tells him to just wait for the strike team. The men at the table then give some extra info on Casey Badass. Where most of his team died on a mission, he was so pissed off he punched his commander, and the captain took him on the ship so that he could finish out his 20 years. One of them is worried that the nukes will be offloaded before the strike team can make it. Breaker says that there's no way that William can get away, but the man is worried that Honolulu is their next target. Scene jumps to Casey giving Jordan a gun and telling her to hide. He then action runs over to this chopper. Scene cuts to William and Krill talking about what they're going to do with the money after they sell these nukes. Scene cuts to Casey Badass poking holes in this paint thinner can and sitting a grenade underneath it and leaving it on the chopper. As he goes to move, some henchmen see him and begin firing. Everyone begins to move to the chopper as Casey Badass goes the other way. He then grabs this chain, and as the chopper is exploding, he jumps off the ship, hangs onto the chain, and he doesn't fall into the water.
Bullshit. He goes like 20 feet down the side of this ship, slams into the side of it, and continues to hold the chain.
Yeah, it's Casey Badass, man.
Oh, these bullshit. That's what that is.
A henchman finds Jordan. Casey Badass climbs back onto the ship. He hears Jordan in trouble, and he makes a move to save her. There are 2 men that have Jordan, and 2 men are walking in front. Casey Badass jumps out of cover, grabs one of the men, twists his arm behind him, and spins him around. He then shoots the man that was next to him in the head, and then shoots the other 2 henchmen that are holding Jordan. And that was a total of 3 rounds. He shot 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And headshotted all these men, and then he puts the gun into the henchman's back and then opens up and kills.
Yeah. This movie, man.
Casey Badass then grabs Jordan as more henchmen begin to fire. They go into this room and shut the door as Casey Badass puts a grenade on the handle before he continues on with Jordan. William tries to stop his men from opening the door, but it's too late. The grenade goes off and kills some of his men. William then calls him a pain in the ass, but Krill says he knows what to do. He knows what to do. His plan is to start flooding the crew that is being held captive. He believes that Casey will kill himself trying to save them because he's a hero.
He's such a good guy.
Yeah, he's a hero.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, because he's such a
Yeah. Now you're getting it. Now you're starting to see
a good guy.
Now you're starting to see the significance of this movie. You see what I'm saying? This is like important.
Oh yeah, I am
of all levels.
I am coming around. Yeah.
Scene jumps to Casey leading Jordan and explaining that William and his men plan to offload the nukes. This is now the third time they've explained this in this movie. They take like 4 minutes apiece.
Yeah.
Casey then hears the men knocking the Morse code. He then grabs a blowtorch and opens the door where he finds some crew members.
Yay, the cook is here. Woo!
He arms them and tells them what's going on. Scene jumps to the control room with William's henchmen and the power flickers. Scene cuts to Casey Badass and his crew members messing with the fuse boxes. Krill then goes over the intercom systems and speaks to Casey. He tells him to look at the television and shows him the rest of the crew that's being drowned. Casey Badass says that they need to go and save them. One says that, hey, I didn't sign up for this. I signed up for the college money. I'm going to stay here and watch Jordan. But Jordan says, fuck that. I'm joining the fight too, bro.
You're in the Navy. It's not like it's an adventure.
He is chicken shit.
What the fuck?
Scene jumps to a crew member cutting the lights and opening a hatch and dropping a makeshift bomb on henchmen below. Casey Badass then begins to fire at these henchmen, and they get into this very odd shootout. I don't understand the shootout.
No, there's a lot I don't understand.
He's blind firing and covering a man while he's turning this valve to shut off the water. But if Steven Seagal had never shot, they would have never gotten to the shootout and the man would have still been able to turn the valve.
Yeah. It was all for nothing.
It was all for nothing.
Yeah, it was just...
It was all for nothing. While this is going on, one of the henchmen then radio William and tell him that they have Casey and his men pinned down. They then begin to drop the anchor on the ship. Casey Badass is laying down fire when the Gadget gets a call and Jordan picks up. As she puts Casey Badass on the phone, still in the middle of this gunfight, and the men just tell him to aid the strike team when they get there. Casey then is dual wielding these SMGs. He then crosses his chest with these SMGs and starts sprinting down the hall, firing these things.
Right.
And he kills men. He actually kills men with this move.
I know.
And for some reason, Jordan wants to join the fight. So she runs up with no gun. She runs up and is behind Casey for the rest of this.
But she doesn't want to kill people. She made that very clear. But
she wants to join the fight. What the hell was that?
I don't know.
Casey Badass sees a henchman standing under a metal beam, and then he unties this rope so the beam falls and spikes the man. And as they're going through this door, a henchman comes out. Casey Badass grabs the gun from him, punches him in the face. The man stumbles over the rail and gets caught in the rope that was just holding up that beam.
Dude got girdered. Honestly, I don't know if I've seen that before. Kind of like
pretty fucked up, wasn't it?
I kind of liked it, to be honest.
Casey Badass then enters this room where there are henchmen welding. He pulls out his knife and him and Jordan run past everybody, but there's this henchman coming down the stairs. He then alerts the rest of the henchmen. They then begin to surround Casey Badass and Jordan, which is a fucked up mistake because one of the henchmen rushed Casey Badass with a pipe and he counters him and stabs him in the neck. Another henchman tries to attack Casey Badass, but he counters him, cutting the inner part of his thigh and then stabbing him underneath his armpit. Another henchman. Have y'all not learned your lesson yet? This is fucking Casey
right.
Badass. Another henchman tries to attack Casey Badass from behind with a wrench, but gets countered and stabbed. The man blocking the steps then comes down to attack Casey, but Jordan warns him and he hits the guy, then runs him into a running saw. The saw is on and he shoves the guy into it and the guy begins to scream.
Yes. I don't.
These are the action scenes of this movie.
Yeah.
Scene jumps to the strike team still making their way to the ship. Scene cuts to William's henchman in the control room. William is on the phone and he's trying to broker deals for this nuke as the henchman tells him that the strike team is approaching. So he says, kill them. As they go to open up fire, the system powers down. William then gets into contact with the submarine that's now above the water waiting to collect these nukes. Scene cuts to Casey Badass and Jordan, and they're watching the strike team come in. Then they see a rocket fire from the sub, because there's a man standing on the sub with a rocket launcher. He then fires a rocket at the strike team, and the strike team goes down. Scene jumps to the men at the table, finding out that the strike team is gone, and now they have to sink this ship. Input?
No. I don't. I don't even know what to say at this point. Like, okay, I realize, I believe, and thank you, everyone. I believe this is our 10th episode.
Yeah.
And it's, without a doubt, the worst movie we've covered. I don't know how else.
Shit.
How else
you might
to
be
put
right.
it? Yeah.
We might have to find a new list master, man. This is getting rough out here.
Oh.
So the scene cuts to Casey and Jordan, and they have this mini prep montage where they have like two or three of these little mini prep montages where Steven Seagal looks badass while he like pulls the head of a grenade out, and he pulls the head out of a missile, and he pours the bomb liquid from the inside of these things and creates like another bomb. And I'm like, huh?
It's almost like a montage.
Yeah,
but they couldn't get it right. And at one point, he's drilling and he's flexing while he's drilling. I was like,
yes,
literally,
I
one arm straight out pointed and laughed at the television. He was drilling and flexing. I was like, how far do you really have to go to feed that ego?
Scene cuts to the sub, now right next to the ship. The scene cuts back to Casey, still rigging these bombs and grenades. Scene cuts to the nukes being loaded onto the sub. Scene jumps back to Casey, now making his way to the anchor chain, and he begins to slide down and swims this makeshift bomb up to the sub. But a henchman sees him and starts shooting, and Casey returns fire from the water.
Yeah. Yes, he does. At this point, why question it?
The henchmen then start throwing fishing hooks, like these tripod fishing hooks, down at him, and they try to hook him and pull him back up, but they only cut the back of his shirt, and Casey plants this bomb and blows a hole into the sub as he swims away. Casey makes his way back onto the ship as a henchman finds him. He's talking shit to Casey. He points his gun and goes to kill him, but a shot goes off, and Casey is saved by Jordan, who does not kill people. And Casey then makes the joke, soon you're gonna be dating musicians. Because she said her two rules are no musicians and no killing.
Right.
Krill and William check the damage of the sub. Krill says that he can take care of the damage. William says that he's going to go make Honolulu glow in the dark. Scene jumps to Jordan patching Casey up from the hook attack. Scene cuts to William talking to his man in the control room, and the henchman says that everything's down, everything's dead, nothing's working. So William sticks his gun in his face to motivate his henchman to get the work done. Scene jumps to the crew meeting up with Casey and Jordan. Scene jumps to Krill being a bully to the men trying to fix the ship. Casey and the men then see this sub and come up with a plan. Scene cuts to the henchman in the control room, and he gets everything back up and running. We then get another quick prep montage where Casey and the crew are loading dummy rounds and live rounds into this cannon. William
Again, it's almost a montage, but it's not.
They couldn't quite figure it out. Yeah, they couldn't quite get it there.
Just go with the montage, man. Just make it a full-on montage.
Yeah.
Give me some B-list rock and roll music, and you make some bombs. That's all I need.
Yeah, and do it in a straight line. Stop trying to put other shit in the middle of it. Just like do your montage. Yeah.
Take it to the limit.
There you go.
Take it to the limit.
And everybody else is working. Steven Skull's like doing jumping jacks in the back.
Right, drilling and flexing.
They're loading these rounds into this cannon and they're firing them at Krill. William and his men hear this and spring into action. Krill sees this from the sub and tells the henchmen on the sub they don't have the rounds that'll reach us. William then watches and gets blown away as they fire live rounds at this sub. Krill and the henchmen from the submarine start to scramble and finish as Casey loads another round in. Krill tries to dive the submarine before Casey can get another round off, but they get another round off and it lands square on the submarine. Scene cuts to William and he's all kinds of fucked up because he just got he was standing feet away from this cannon and it goes off and it literally just throws him back, disorients him. He might have a concussion.
You think?
He then tells all his men to get out of here and starts ranting about the revolution once again. He puts on his jacket and his glasses. He then fires missiles at Honolulu as Casey and the crew watches. Casey tells one of the crewmen to take Jordan and get this satellite, and they run off. Scene cuts to the men at the table being informed that missiles have been launched off of the ship. And if the bombs land in Honolulu, 1 million people will burn in less than a second. Holy shit.
Yeah, what's this guy's problem with Hawaii?
Yeah, I have no idea. One man then leans over and whispers to Breaker that they will just blame Casey, and Breaker was like, yeah, let's do that. He immediately did not want any part of this.
I would do that.
Scene cuts to a jet taking off, getting ready to go sink this battleship. Scene cuts to Casey and his crew getting into a shootout with the remaining henchmen. A henchman knocks Casey's gun away, but he just breaks his wrist and judo throws him. The man tries to fight back, and Casey badass literally rips his fucking throat out.
He rips the man's Adam's apple out and just holds it there for him to look at it.
And Steven Seagal did that for real. He really killed that man.
I have no doubt.
Knowing the history of Steven Seagal being an ass to people on set, Casey then gets to the control room, but there's no William. As Casey is scanning for William, William pops up behind him, makes Casey drop his gun. Casey then recognizes William. William tells him that he has the deactivation keys, but he's not going to hand them over. He's going to make Casey watch these bombs drop. Casey asks, man, why are you doing this? William says because he was tired of listening to other people. Casey says that they are the same, but William disagrees. Casey then kicks the gun out of William's hand and he falls back into a service cart. William then pulls out his knife. Casey pulls out his knife, and they have a knife fight. Casey cuts Williams across the chest and the wrist, and they begin to struggle. And Williams cuts Casey above the eye, but Casey, badass, then sticks his thumb deep into his eye, stabs him in the top of the head, and then rams his head into the monitor and takes the disc to stop the missiles. That is the big fight scene of the movie. The jets fly in and destroy one of the missiles in the air, but there's still one heading to Honolulu. But Casey, of course, has the disc to disable the missile and disables it before it hits. The crew then is released and everybody runs to thank Casey, and somehow Casey gets to kiss Jordan, and that is the end of this heroic, action-packed movie.
I love that you called it horrific.
Heroic. I think you misheard. I think you might correct. Hold on, sorry.
I must have misunderstood you there. I thought you said horrific. Because that would have made more sense.
Dude, this movie was fucking horrible.
Okay, so one thing I do want to add to this is the missiles are about to hit Honolulu, and all Seagull has to do is read them the codes to disarm it.
Yeah.
And they're like, time is of the essence. Give us the codes. And he's like,
7.
Hold on a second here. Let me put
3.
Oh my God. I was supposed to add suspense and it just didn't.
And you see the missile guiding like around the little rocks.
Right. Every second it's just getting closer and closer. You're like,
oh
my God. Is he going to be able to save Honolulu? Like, what? And then when he kisses the girl.
Yes.
That was just hard to watch.
Yeah, she looked visibly uncomfortable.
Yes. 100%.
And the scary thing is, like, knowing Steven Shitbird's background. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With all the different shit he's done on set, I don't doubt that was not a part of the script. Because he grabs the back of her head and yanks her in, and they kiss, and it's a real quick kiss. You can tell it's very, very quick, but they kiss real quick, and then she's just like, what the fuck was that?
It's fun that you will say that, because I have done a little project myself.
Oh, shit.
Where I have put together a small list of people who cannot stand Steven Seagal.
Oh, no.
Same as me.
Oh, no.
Liam Neeson used to be a boxer, and he is quoted as saying, the man can't punch. Who?
Wasn't Liam Neeson like a underground boxer at one point too? Like,
I believe
like a
he
real
was.
tough motherfucker.
I think, but his 2 quotes about the man was, he can't punch, and who does his hair? Stevie Wonder?
Holy shit. That's awesome. That's awesome.
I am not making that up. Another person that doesn't like him would be Sylvester Stallone.
Oh.
Apparently,
come on, Sly.
Seagull was at his house and he started talking shit and Stallone ended up grabbing him by the neck and throwing him up against the wall. You kidding me? There's also Bob Odenkirk, who is a very long time person on SNL. He states to this day, out of all the decades and all the guests they've ever had on SNL, he was the worst one. Siegel was the worst one.
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
Do you know the Mean Gene story?
I don't.
So, story goes is Mean Gene is a very decorated jujitsu instructor, right? And he
Okay.
does, as he transitioned in life, he started doing movies, like choreography for movies and teaching people how to do certain things, right? He does this movie with Steven Seagal, and Steven Seagal is arrogant through the whole movie. And he finally comes up to Mean Gene and he tells him, hey, like, put me in your best hold. And Gene goes, that is not the best idea. And he goes, no, I promise you, I can get out of it. So Mean Gene puts him in a rear naked choke, and Steven Seagal cannot get out of the choke, and he actually poops himself.
That is amazing. Okay. That kind of reminds me of this story by Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh, shit.
He was at Sylvester Stallone's house with Siegel.
Oh, no.
And Siegel was running his mouth. Van Damme got so pissed. He challenged Siegel to fight him in Sylvester Stallone's garden. And then all of a sudden, Siegel had to go home. He left immediately.
That story is also told by Michael Jai White. Michael Jai White tells that story a lot.
Charlize Theron said he's overweight and he barely knows how to fight. He just shoves people in the face.
This is true.
I know. I saw it so many times in this movie.
He's just like sissy slapping him.
Yeah. John Leguizamo said he's kind of a horrible human. Chuck Norris called him a wannabe and a rotten human being.
Chuck Norris could not stand that man.
Now, this is the classiest one I know, and then I will end with the best. Sharon Stone said, he's an individual who isn't worth the ink it would take to write about him.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
Fucking kidding me? She didn't say anything about him, but she said everything about him.
Oh,
that is so good.
God.
DMX. Steven Seagal is a fuck. He's a fucking shithead with spray-on hair. The guy's a fucker. He's an asshole.
You know why DMX feels that way, right?
The movie they were in.
Yeah, he broke his arm. He broke his arm in that movie.
Nah, well, he's known for breaking people's arms. He's known for hurting stunt people.
This is true.
He's known for hitting other actors.
They have a chase scene before they like team up and become cop buddies. In this movie, there's a scene where DMX is running from Steven Seagal, and he has both of his hands behind his back, and in that scene, the both of them are supposed to drop to their knees. Steven Seagal doesn't drop to his knees when DMX does, and it forces him to break his arm.
Oh my God!
Yeah, there are countless stories. Michael Jai White tells a whole bunch of stories of it. Steven Seagal constantly being abusive to these actors, actresses, stunt people, stuff like that. And it's fucked up. It's fucked up.
Well,
okay?
I mean, it got to the point where no one will back him anymore, and he had to make his own movies.
Yeah, now he's at the point where he's doing his own shit, and still people don't want to work with him.
No.
And it's fucking sad. It's fucking sad. And he leans on the excuse of, oh, I want to make it look real. There's ways to make shit look real without actually fucking hurting people, bro. Like, get over yourself, man.
He could have made a good impact on the world.
He could have. He could have been a B-level fucking action star, not been a shithead, and people still fucking love him.
Yeah.
Because you would have probably had some shitty cult classics out there.
No,
You see what I'm
absolutely.
saying?
And
But
we'd be
instead, you're
talking
known
about
as
it in a whole different way.
exactly. Now you're just a shitty person with a shitty reputation in shitty fucking movies.
Yeah. On that note, we're gonna wrap this thing up. Again, check us out on Facebook. Feel free to give us a comment. If we have any updates, we will throw it out there on Facebook. We love y'all for listening. Can't thank y'all enough for coming back next week.